You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White sports supporters, you know the New England Patriots are an absolute train wreck this season. An absolute train wreck. The only positive is it seems like against teams with usually bad quarterbacks, the defense has played really well this season. But outside of that, the offense, the lack of offensive weapons, Mac Jones, it's all been a complete and utter disaster. So tonight's Thursday Night Football. It's going to be on Amazon Prime. And, well, there is a over-under total that has showed up for this game, believe it or not. And it is the lowest over-under total that we have seen in decades. Quote, decades. Now, you're staring straight down the barrel of a high-profile NFL quarterback duel tonight of Bailey Zappe and Mitchell Trubisky. Mitchell, I don't want to be called Mitch Trubisky any longer. Oh, man, what a primetime nightmare. You know who's going to be great tonight? Al Michaels. Al Michaels is going to be great tonight. Because I would suspect, for lack of a better way of putting it, Al Michaels is going to shit all over this game tonight. And it's going to be glorious. Combine that with the fact that all of a sudden Kurt Herbstreit is the most hated man at Florida State. Oh, God, it's going to be great. Oh, very quickly, I am wearing my ESP CNN shirt. This is an oldie but goodie from our merch store, Worldwide Leader in Woke. You can grab it out of our merch store, and, of course, the links are always in the description. So, let's get to this, and we're getting to a potential quarterback that may be picked up by the Patriots, or could be a reunion, so to speak. And what we're really going to look at in this video, the main part of this video, is going to be NFL fans overwhelmingly rejecting the idea that Bill Belichick might become their head coach. And it was a poll that was put up by Florio, and this is PFT2, this particular article. And then we've got some Nesson on the quarterback situation. And it's a train wreck. It's a dumpster fire. It's those two trash cans in that video during a flood that are racing each other down a hill. That's where the Patriots are at now. Bailey Zappe versus Mac Jones. Why the hell isn't Malik Cunningham? Can he literally not raise his arm and attempt a pass? Is that why he's not playing? I don't get it. Why would you not want to see what that guy's got? Or maybe they're tanking and just not telling anybody. I mean, maybe this is tanking in the NFL. Are you excited about Bailey Zappe versus Mitchell Trubisky in prime time? If you are, you might be a degenerate gambler looking forward to the lowest over-under seen in the NFL in decades. Wow. This week's Patriots Steelers game on Thursday Night Football has an over-under point total of 30. Yikes. At most sports books. That's a shockingly low total. Although historic data on gambling can be hard to find, StatMuse.com said there hasn't been a total that low for an NFL game since 1993. Wow. That's the year I graduated high school. I'm 48 years old now. Yikes. And yet, no one should be surprised if the under hits. The Patriots' last three games were losses by the scores of 10-0, or 6-0. I can't read this morning. 10-7 and 10-6. Too many 10s in there. They've had a streak of low-scoring losses unseen since the 1938 Chicago Cardinals. Who? Question mark? Who's the Chicago Cardinals? The Steelers' last three games were a 24-10 loss, a 16-10 win and a 13-10 win. Now I know why he said 10. They're all over the place. And now they've got Trubisky at quarterback after an injury to starter Kenny Pickett. I like Kenny Pickett, but at this point, is this really, I mean, isn't it just the Spider-Man meme of them both pointing at each other at this point? I mean, really? It goes on to talk about how bad Thursday night's game is going to be and that yet millions of people will still watch. And that's accurate. I mean, millions of people will still end up watching this game. So, let's get to this. PFT, this is Florio. He put up a poll, and it has, I mean, there's 252,000 views, and 23,000 people answered this poll. That is more than enough to get a hold on where the thought process is with fan bases all over the NFL. If your favorite team had a coaching vacancy after the 2023 season, would you want the team to hire Bill Belichick? 27% yes. 73% no. Do not hire a coach that has 6 Lombardi trophies. Think about that. That is how bad things have gotten, and that also tells you how tuned in NFL fans really are watching this situation and how bad it is in New England. By the way, in case you're wanting an idea, out of 27,700 fans, that's 17,301 fans, essentially, that said, hell to the no. Hell to the no. Do not want Bill Belichick coaching their team. That's awful. Now, I did look through some of the comment sections. There's a lot of, he can't do crap without Brady. And there is also a lot of, well, if you got a good quarterback, maybe you bring him in to coach, be a defensive head coach. That's, I guess, the yeses or the argument for the situation. My fear would be you would bring him in and he would start trading away competent offensive talent on the team. That would be my fear, is that the personnel side of Bill would come in and wreck a franchise, because that's what's happened with the Patriots. Is the personnel bill, the GM bill, has done nothing on offense. He's gotten it wrong time after time after time. And now you look up, and if you think weapons don't matter, if you think wide receiving talent doesn't matter, look at Patrick Mahomes. All right? Yeah, the Chiefs have a good record. I get it. But they're not scoring nearly at the clip that they were. And it's because this team, the Chiefs, are devoid of wide receiver talent, whereas in the past they haven't been. And Mahomes doesn't look the same. He just does not. Want to think offensive weapons matter? Dolphins. I mean, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, David Arcane. Let's see, who else is down there? Jeff Wilson at running back. Raheem Mostert. Bengals the other night. Backup quarterback throws for 354. Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase. I mean, Joe Mixon and a new guy, Chase Brown. They all got talent. They're all fast. It makes a world of difference. Geno Smith looks a lot better hooking up with DK and Tyler Lockett. And Jackson Smith and Jigba makes him look even better, right? And he's even down this year compared to last year, but you get the point. A.J. Brown shows up with Philadelphia. Devontae Smith shows up in Philadelphia. All of a sudden, the last 2 seasons, Jalen Hurts has been percolating MVP talk. In today's game, you got to have speed. Speed kills. Speed kills, and wide receivers that can get separation. That's where the game is now. So that would be my fear. Now, this might be Patriots fans' worst fear. that they may want a bridge quarterback, and that bridge quarterback could be Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy G going home. I'm coming home. What was the LeBron song during the I'm going back to Cleveland and to win one championship and then throw y'all the deuces under the bus again and leave once again viciously? But isn't that the song, that they were always playing during that playoff run? So, everybody knows Bill Belichick loves him some Jimmy G, right? This is what is coming out. Belichick's fondness, this is Nesson, for Garoppolo is well documented. New England reportedly pursued a reunion with its 2014 second-round pick before drafting Mac Jones in 2021. Man, it's early. Nonetheless, they've already tried to go after him once. Since then, Garoppolo and Jones both have regressed to the point that most view them as backups, with the latter potentially looking at a Patriots trade this offseason. New England almost certainly will look to upgrade at quarterback this spring and currently is in line to own a top 2 pick in the 2024 draft. But even if the Patriots select a quarterback at the top of the draft, they might still need a bridge starter to give a rookie time to develop. That's where Garoppolo could come in, according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. But Fowler stipulated that a reunion only would make sense if Belichick somehow stays in New England, which feels unlikely. Additionally, the contract situation with Garoppolo, who is injury-prone in the first season with the Raiders, could complicate things. And, of course, he's got that $72.5 million deal. It's a 3-year deal, but really it kind of works out as a 2-year deal they could get out of. If Belichick remains in New England in 2024, which seems like a big if, Garoppolo would be a natural selection as a bridge alongside a draft pick. So, in other words, draft Drake May and play Garoppolo while May sits and watches. Okay. I mean, I don't get it necessarily. Not only that, but you'd have to get Jimmy Garoppolo down in that $5 to $6 million range. He'd have to take a pay cut. Now, he was willing to do that with the Niners, and we saw that as long as Jimmy's got some talent, usually it works out. This year, that hasn't happened. The Raiders got real weapons. I mean, they got real weapons. So it didn't help Jimmy this year. But then again, that kind of shows you, Josh McDaniels is no Kyle Shanahan either. That's just all there is to it. When it comes to scheming up plays, guys aren't wide-ass open in Las Vegas, even though with that talent, they sort of should be. Kind of makes you wonder what a Frank Smith at head coach could do or somebody like that, Ben Johnson. And there is also some talk about Josh Jacobs to the Patriots after this season. I mean, that's interesting, I guess. But he's going to require a big-ass couple-of-year contract to do that. They could, in theory, franchise him again, I guess. I think you can use it twice, something like that, on the same player, if I remember correctly. Nonetheless, why wouldn't you just keep Mac Jones because he's on a rookie deal and use him as a bridge? It's kind of, Garoppolo, Mac, it's sort of breaking even. Now, if you're asking me what I would do, I would go out there and I'd give $6 million to Jacoby Brissett, and that would be the former Patriots quarterback from around that time that I would bring back to be the backup / bridge starter. But you still got to put stuff around him. He'll get killed with no offensive line and with no wide receiving talent. He's going to do nothing. That's just nobody's doing anything in this offense. Nobody. You put Tua in there, he'd look like trash right now. Tell me what you think, black and white sports supporters. Peace, I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.